Hello there. I wish to welcome you to my class, and the topic of our class today is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, in brackets ADHD. This kind of a disorder is characterized by developmentally inappropriate levels of activity, concentration, distractibility, and impulsivity. It is assumed to have a neurological basis. Children with ADHD typically have significant and chronic deficits as reflected in the following identification criteria. So I want us to go through a criteria here that actually will help us be able to identify children who have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. 1. Inattention. Students may have considerable difficulty focusing and maintaining attention on assigned tasks. They may have trouble listening to and following direction, make frequent and careless mistakes, or be easily distracted by appealing alternative activities. Number 2, hyperactivity. Students may seem to have an excess amount of energy. They are apt to be fidgety, move around the classroom at inappropriate times, or have trouble working or playing quietly. Impulsivity. Students have trouble inhibiting inappropriate behaviors. They may blurt out answers, begin assignments prematurely, or engage in risky or destructive behaviors without thinking about potential consequences. The same children or learners with ADHD has difficulty sustaining attention tasks or play activity. They do not seem to listen when spoken to directly. They do not follow instructions and fail to finish schoolwork, chores, or routines. They have difficulty organizing tasks or activities. They avoid, dislikes, or is reluctant to engage in tasks that require sustained mental effort, such as homework. They lose things necessary for tasks or activities. And lastly, they are forgetful in daily activities. Let's look at some few problems that these learners always encounter. A child with problems in impulsive control often has difficulty awaiting his or her turn, interrupts or intrudes on others. They flat out answers before questions have been completed. A child experiencing hyperactivity often pickets with hands or feet or squirms in seat, leaves seats in classroom or other situations in which remaining seated is expected, runs about or climbs excessively in situations in which it is inappropriate, has difficulty in engaging in leisure activities quietly, talks excessively, acts as if driven by a motor, and cannot remain calm. Now, lastly, I want us to look at adaptive instruction. These are actually suggested ways of trying to help such learners. These are the researchers and practitioners' suggestions on how to help them. First and foremost, modify students' schedules and work environments. The symptoms of ADHD tend to get progressively worse as the day goes. Ideally, students should have most academic subjects and challenging tasks in the morning rather than in the afternoon. Furthermore, moving students' desks away from distractions, e.g., away from the door and window, but not too close to classmates, and close to the teacher, where behavior can be monitored, can enhance their attention and achievement. Teach attention maintaining strategies. Students with ADHD and D often benefit from learning concrete strategies for keeping their attention on assigned tasks. For example, we can ask them to keep their eyes on us when we are giving directions or providing new information. And we can encourage them to move to a new location if their current one presents too many distracting sights or sounds. The other way of helping such children is providing outlets for excess energy. To help children control excess energy, we should intersperse quiet academic work with frequent opportunities for physical. We must also give students a settling in time after recess or lunch, perhaps reading an excerpt from a high interest story, book, or magazine article before asking them to engage in an activity that involves quiet concentration. We can also help such students by organizing and using time effectively. Because of their inattentiveness and hyperactivity, students with ADHD often have difficulty completing daily classroom tasks. So several strategies can help these students organize themselves and use class time more effectively. You can show them how to create to-do lists and establish a daily routine that they post on their desks. So these are perhaps some of the few suggestions that researchers and practitioners are suggesting on how to help children with ADHD. So, and that marks the end of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So I want to believe that teachers will be able to get tips on how to help learners with ADHD. Thank you and bye.